This is an internal training video for Epic Online. In this presentation, we will tackle on what to do before session starts. When it comes to your Epic Online sessions, being prepared is one of the most important things you can do. As Benjamin Franklin says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. You can start by logging in the scheduler and plotting your preferred schedules way in advance. You will be given the user ID and password, so you need not worry. You don't just plot an open schedule for a week or two, you can plot months in advance. By doing this, you have a much better chance to have your sessions booked. You can alter and cancel before the strike of 3 hours prior to the session schedule, provided that there are other coaches who have plotted the same schedule that you are trying to strike off. If there's no coaches on the set time slots, you are to consult the Epic Monitoring Team, otherwise commonly known as EMT. This is to make sure that our students are not left hanging in mid-air with no alternate coach to handle the already booked session. Booked sessions cannot be cancelled by any coach within 3 hours before the session. Before you start the session, make sure you've already signed in on Skype and eScheduler 5 minutes to the hour, in other words, 10 minutes before the session. Make sure you study the client's profile if the client is new to you. The client's profile discusses what the client does and what the company is involved in. It also states all the preferences. For example, what the student wants to gain by being enrolled in Epic Online. While it is important to keep the student happy because they are our customer, but we are actually paid by their employer or by the school where they belong. When it comes to conflict, the paymaster will always prevail. This is the importance of the client's profile. If the student wanted to do something that's different, you have to explain to them that the company, the employer, or the school has given specific instructions. Take notice of the said request and have it duly noted in the student's report. Our account manager will bring it up to the client. Make sure you study the student's profile for one who is new to you. Make the student feel that you took the trouble to get to know him or her beforehand. This is very important because the student is not assigned to one fixed coach. We don't want the student to feel that there's some sort of disjointed. If you want to ask something from the student on anything which came to your knowledge while reading the profile, ask the student specifically. Give him the feeling that you actually know him already. An example is asking the student about some interests or hobbies, or perhaps some brewing current events. If ever you have checked the previous session and there was a discussion about an issue, you can actually bring it up as a kind of an update. To give a more specific example, maybe the student is into basketball and there was a recently held basketball tournament or an NBA All-Star event that just happened. You can talk about that. Make sure you read the student report. You can find out what happened during the previous session and what were the areas discussed and what the previous coach used as a content topic. The areas that need some leveling up is duly stated in there. Instead of merely engaging in a small talk, you can actually recap on what they discussed previously before moving on to the recent content. In the student report, the content topic discussed and the suggested topic that is to be taken up on that hour is indicated therein. The links will be written in the report and can all be found in the Content Library Moodle. Before you start your session, make sure that the links are accessible. If they don't, you may contact the monitoring team or the content development team and they will be ready to assist you. Make sure to reboot your PC if this is your first session for the day. Do your speed test after restarting and send the 3 speed test results to the EMT or monitoring team for them to determine whether or not you are technically eligible to proceed for the said scheduled session. Be certain that your webcam, headset, and your recorder are all in good condition. You can use the Skype test call to do your own checking if your video and microphone are in optimal condition. It is a must that you turn off your mobile phone and take your landline connection off the hook if it happens to be in the same room where you will conduct your lesson. Setting it in on a vibration mode is not an option because it also disrupts the session. It is a distraction and it is not professionally acceptable. Speaking of professionalism, Make sure that the background looks clean and uncluttered. No unnecessary movements from behind must be visible, people and animals alike. We want to uphold a premium quality of service. Do make sure you've gone to the toilet before your session and that you have a glass of water beside you. You are not allowed to get out of sight at the middle of the session to do totally unrelated movements. If you have an electric fan inside the room, make sure it's quiet and is pointed away from your microphone. The same is a distraction just the same. That's all for Epic Online Pre-Session. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you and have a wonderful time coaching.